Hey everybody. So some of you may already know, you may already have my book, my latest book called Creating Your Best Life. I wanted to read a little bit of this book to you so you can kind of get an idea of what it's about. And I'll have some links if you want to order it. It is on Kindle and it's also available on Amazon in hardcover or softcover. So to start with, I'd like to read the prologue. If there is one thing certain in life, it is that everything will constantly change. As I reflect on my 42 years of life, I realize the multitude of changes I have experienced along the journey. Life is a succession of ups and downs, and I have endured them all. I have experienced triumphs and failures, have been both adored and despised, lived through wealth and poverty, endured health and sickness, displayed kindness and cruelty, and experienced both happiness and sadness. Nonetheless, this is the beauty of life. Without adversity, we cannot truly grasp the value of positive things in our lives. How can we appreciate happiness without having tasted sorrow? In ancient Chinese medicine, this is known as yin and yang. Yin and yang are opposing energies such as winter and summer, night and day, and joy and sorrow. You cannot have one without the other. Not every experience in my life has been pleasant, yet I have learned from each one. If I could travel back in time, I wouldn't alter a thing. All those detrimental relationships, mistakes, and traumatic encounters have molded me into the individual I am today. With this book, I aspire to assist you in learning and evolving through my experiences. Abundance thrives within the universe, accessible to all, by simply altering our perspectives, or, as Plato proposed nearly 2,000 years ago, changing our minds. I can honestly declare that my current life aligns precisely with my aspirations, and I encourage you, each of you, to create your own best lives as well. If you're wondering what the crinkling noise is in the background, it is my buddy Cash. Cash, come say hi. Creating his best life by destroying this toy. I'm going to get the toy out of the way. Here, Cash. You can have your bone instead, buddy. And I'm going to read you the first chapter. Chapter 1, The Beginning. The beginning is a very good place to start. Winnie the Pooh. I was born in Boston, Massachusetts on June 9th, 1982, to a family living in Gloucester, the oldest fishing port in the United States. Gloucester is a small city with a population of just over 30,000, located on Cape Ann, 30 miles northeast of Boston. It was settled in 1623 by men from Dorchester, England, who were sent to establish a fishing and trade plantation. By the late 19th century, Gloucester had become the leading producer of salted codfish, with the majority of salt being imported from the Sicilian city of Trapani. This explains how I ended up growing up in this iconic New England fishing town. My maternal grandfather had mostly English ancestry, but my maternal grandmother and paternal grandparents all came from Sicily. My grandfathers were both fishermen. My father's father, who traveled to Gloucester from Trapani to fish, unfortunately passed away when my father was a young child, so I never had the opportunity to meet him. However, my maternal grandfather survived being a prisoner of war during World War II, which is another story I shall write. I'm actually in the process of writing it, so keep your eyes open for that one. He also survived as a boat captain for several decades, enduring dreadful storms, one of which resulted in him becoming severely injured. I still vividly remember him lying on a hospital bed in our living room when I was around 5 years old, as my mother cared for him after the Coast Guard rescued him from the ocean with multiple broken ribs. Despite his perilous life, he lived well into his mid-90s. As I write this book, my maternal grandmother is still alive and in her late 90s. My paternal grandmother passed away just short of her 96th birthday, and overall my grandparents had very little health issues as they aged. I know that one of the main reasons they lived so long and were active and functional into their 90s is because their lives had a purpose. My dad's mom, known as Nani, which is Italian for grandmother, lived to cook for her friends and family. Whenever you would visit her, the first thing she would ask, in Sicilian of course, was if you were hungry. If you said no, you would get a bowl of pasta. If you said yes, you would get a very big bowl of pasta. Mangiare, she would say, while scooping another spoonful of pasta into your bowl. After she passed, we learned at her wake that she would feed the mailman lunch every day. He didn't speak a word of Sicilian, but she would drag him inside and hold him hostage until he finished the lunch she had prepared for him. He came to her wake to let us know how much he was going to miss her in their daily lunches. My Nani was one of the most influential, strong, caring, and determined people in my life. My mom's dad, who my sister referred to as Old Captain Kurt, worked for my parents after he retired from fishing, helping out with property maintenance at their restaurants and properties. He worked every single day of his life until the COVID-19 pandemic struck in 2020, resulting in mandatory lockdowns. I could visualize how losing his purpose changed my grandfather, both mentally and physically. If it wasn't for COVID interrupting his schedule, I suspect he would still be alive. My mom's mother lives for her religion. She is a very passionate and devoted born-again Christian who strives to save everyone she comes across. While some may agree or disagree with her beliefs, it gives her a purpose and something to live for. She has also been very strict with her diet. For as long as I have known her, she has avoided salt, sugar, and processed foods. My Nani married my dad's father while living in Sicily. When he decided to relocate to Gloucester to become a fisherman, she stayed behind to help his mother run their bakery. It was 20 long years before she was able to join him in the States. Shortly after they were reunited, she became pregnant with my father, Carlo. Exactly 1 year later, on July 26, 1949, she gave birth to his sister, Anna. Many people thought they were twins growing up because they shared the same birthday and were in the same grade after my father had to repeat a year of school due to the stress he was under when his father passed. My grandfather died at sea, but not because of the storm. They suspected that he had a heart attack. When he passed, he left my Nani in a foreign country where she did not speak the language with 2 young children. She only had a 3rd grade education from Sicily, but she managed to create a side business as a seamstress and used the money she earned from selling the bakery in Trapani to help my aunt purchase her house and help my father purchase his first restaurant. That home is still in the family today with my aunt, uncle, and cousins living there, and my father still owns the property of his first restaurant. My father grew up very poor, but he was able to create his own empire of restaurants and commercial and residential properties. My mother was born on February 25th, 1957 in Gloucester as well. She actually met my father when he started teaching mechanical drawing at our high school. He was fresh out of college, and while a relationship between a teacher and student would definitely be frowned upon today, they ended up getting married and have been together ever since. They recently celebrated their 47th wedding anniversary. Their relationship has been far from perfect, but they have managed to make it work all these years, and I admire them for that. Having a purpose in life plays a significant role in promoting physical health and longevity. Research has linked purpose to a reduced risk of various health conditions, including heart disease, stroke, and Alzheimer's disease. Studies have shown that individuals who have a clear sense of purpose are more likely to engage in healthy behaviors, such as regular exercise, a balanced diet, and consistent sleep patterns. This motivation to take care of oneself stems from the desire to live long enough to achieve their purpose and contribute meaningfully to society. Moreover, a sense of purpose has been found to boost the immune system and improve overall resilience, thereby increasing one's ability to fight off illnesses. In addition to physical health benefits, having a purpose in life significantly impacts our mental well-being. A sense of purpose provides individuals with a sense of direction and meaning, which can act as a protective factor against mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, and feelings of hopelessness. According to Viktor Frankl, the renowned psychiatrist, individuals who have a strong purpose are more likely to overcome challenges and maintain a positive attitude even in the face of adversity. Furthermore, having a purpose provides a sense of accomplishment and personal satisfaction, leading to increased self-esteem and overall life satisfaction. Having a purpose in life also fosters meaningful social connections, which are crucial for both longevity and quality of life. Individuals with a clear purpose tend to surround themselves with like-minded individuals who share similar values and goals, thereby forming social networks. These networks provide emotional support, encouragement, and opportunities for collaboration, which can enhance personal growth and a sense of belonging. Furthermore, individuals who have a purpose are more likely to engage in community service and volunteering, contributing to the well-being of others and creating a positive impact on society as a whole. For my Nana, my mom's mother, her community is her church. For my Nani, her family was extremely important to her, and their well-being was her number one concern. Life is full of ups and downs, and having a purpose acts as a driving force for perseverance and resilience during difficult times. When faced with obstacles, individuals with a strong sense of purpose are more likely to view them as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable barriers. They possess the mental fortitude to persist and adapt, thus enhancing their ability to overcome challenges. This resilience helps in maintaining a positive mindset and preventing the onset of stress-related illnesses, such as burnout and chronic anxiety. Perhaps one of the most intriguing aspects of having a purpose in life is its correlation with increased longevity. Numerous studies have established a positive relationship between purpose and a longer lifespan. Researchers believe that having a sense of purpose can add years to one's life by encouraging healthier lifestyles, reducing stress, promoting positive health, and even influencing biological markers of aging, such as telomere length and gene expression. Additionally, a clear purpose in life creates a sense of motivation and zest for living, making individuals more likely to engage in activities that promote physical and mental well-being, ultimately contributing to a longer lifespan, which is evident with my grandparents. When I was born, my father owned a sub shop, which had a one-bedroom apartment above it. The three of us lived there for about 8 years until he had the house that they currently live in built. When I was born, my parents each owned a dog. My dad ended up rehoming his dog because he felt he needed a property where he could run around. My mom's little cockapoo, Tammy, became my best friend. I love that dog so much, although I suspect that Tammy found me a bit annoying. She tolerated me. I still remember the day we had to put Tammy to sleep. It was a difficult day for all of us. I begged my mom every day after that to let me get my own dog until finally she announced that they were taking me to a home where there was a litter of miniature Dachshunds and that I could pick one out to come home with us. I was so excited. I remember that we stopped at the pet store and picked up some supplies for the new puppy. When we came home with everything, my dad was waiting there. "You told her?" he asked surprisingly. I thought we were going to surprise her. She kept asking when she was getting a puppy, so I ended up telling her to quiet her up, my mom replied. When we arrived at the breeder's house, we were greeted by 10 male puppies. She had put the parents in another room so they wouldn't be upset by us touching their babies. They were black and tan, short-haired Dachshunds. I ended up picking the runt of the litter as the one I wanted to bring home. When we arrived back at our apartment with him, he immediately found one of the toys my mom and I had bought for him and attacked it viciously. Before I knew it, the toy had been reduced to a pile of fluff. At that moment, I decided to name him Rambo. We owned Rambo till he was 17 years old. I learned a lot from that stubborn, aggressive, temperamental, but loving dog. I was an only child until February 21st, 1991, when my sister Serena was born. We had just moved into the new house my dad had built when my mom surprised us all with the news that she was pregnant. My mother had fertility issues, and she had a difficult time becoming pregnant with me. She had to seek the help of a fertility doctor and inject herself with hormones. I was a result of artificial insemination, and while all the other women who were receiving treatments at the same time as her ended up having twins or triplets, my mother was the only one who had a single fetus. She tried again to get pregnant using fertility drugs when I was young, but was unsuccessful. When she announced her pregnancy in 1990, we were all quite surprised, but also very happy. I was really excited by the thought of having a sibling to play with. When Serena joined this world, she was named after our Nani, whose given name was Rosaria, but her nickname was Serena. The family dynamic completely changed, and all the focus was put on the new baby. Overnight, the way my parents treated me changed. I went from being their baby to be treated like an adult. I was expected to not only start taking care of myself, but I also had to help out with the baby. I remember finding Serena very boring the first couple of years of her life. I couldn't really play with her, and all she did was cry a lot. When Rambo would lick her face, she would cry especially loud. My dad made a comment that we would have to rehome Rambo if he kept upsetting the baby. I remember thinking that we should rather rehome Serena. Ironically, as Serena grew up, she became anything but boring, and she developed an exceptionally close relationship with Rambo, which likely influenced her decision to become a veterinarian. And that is the end of chapter 1. In chapter 2, I go into the importance of animals in my life. And if you would like to continue reading the book, check out the links so you can see where to get it. Thank you so much for listening.